mediator. Mr. 150 is mediator. Okay, fine. You can start now.
I apologize for the delay, sir. Just give us a minute.
Sure.
Sir, with your permission, may we please start the round?
Yeah, sure.
Absolutely. Good luck, everyone.
Your time starts now.
Okay, so a very warm hello and good afternoon to everyone. I believe everyone who is audible and present here is doing fine in these hard and trying times of dire COVID-19 attack. So let me quickly introduce myself. I am Ashish Tiwari in the capacity of your mediator today, and you can simply refer to me as Ashish. And my preferred gender pronouns are he and him. Before we proceed with our mediation session, may I request the parties to kindly introduce themselves? Can we start with the requesting party? Great. Yeah, please proceed.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Kate Wilson, and I'm the CEO of Fashion X Corporation.
Good afternoon, everyone. I am Jim Anderson, and I'm the in-house counsel for Kate.
A very good afternoon. I'm Eric Taylor. I'm the owner of the world's largest retail company, Newtopia.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Rachel Winchester, representing and assisting my client today. Yeah. In-house counsel for... Pardon me?
Can you please repeat your names once again? Rachel.
Yeah, indeed. You can refer to me as Rachel.
Okay, so thank you so much for both the parties for your exquisite introductions. Now, at the very onset, I want to start by talking out of it. In India, there is a phrase which goes on like Vasudhaiv Kutumbakam, which means the world is a family. Now, considering the same phrase, you can consider this mediation panel as a family. And whatever warmth and comfort that you share with your family members, you can share with all of us so that we can end up having a comforting as well as nurturing atmosphere over here in this session, right? Our role today as mediators is that of a facilitators. We will be the most neutral and impartial party over here because we do not have any vested interest in anyone of the party, right? So we will neither be condescending nor vitriolic towards anyone of the party here. And you can consider our role perhaps like a taxi driver. Like the taxi is this mediation session. We are the drivers and you are the passenger. We will drive and lead you to your destination, but the destination will be of your choice. That is your mutual consensus that you will be agreeing upon, right? Okay. Now coming to the fundamentals of mediation. See, mediation is a completely confidential process. So whatever coming here in this table of mediation will not get out of this table. And let me assure you that on part of my co-mediator as well, that whatever the notes that we will be preparing throughout this session, we will dismantle them immediately after this session. Apart from being a confidential process, mediation is also a voluntary process. So I would request the parties to kindly confirm me that they have the full authority to make decisions over here in this session. You can give me a thumbs up either. Yeah, thank you so much. Thank you so much for your confirmation, everyone. Now, another thing that I want to flag off here is that, see, mediation is completely different from courtroom litigation. So I would request the parties to kindly refrain from getting into the legalities or clutches of legalities or getting tangled in a legal quagmire or technicalities. Throughout this session, if you think that you need to have a break or you need to have a private session with the mediators, you may call for a caucus. A caucus is a highly private as well as confidential meeting between the mediators and one of the parties, as well as the parties themselves. Also, to make sure that we utilize the best of our abilities and capabilities, I would like to inform you that this session is total of 30 minutes. And I would rather suggest that we could reserve the last few minutes to get over and summarize everything that has been agreed and discussed here, so that we can ensure clarity as well as avoid any confusion in this session as well as the next session is needed. Right? Okay. So I think that there are more nitty-gritties that are attached to mediation, and my co-mediator will be the best person. Jenny, please continue.
Hello, good evening, everyone. I hope everyone present here is blessed with good health in such difficult times. My name is Jennifer Dias, and you may refer to me as Jenny. I am going to be co-mediating along with my respectable co-mediator Ashish here. So before we begin, I want to congratulate both the parties for choosing to mediate. Y'all are giving yourself a wonderful opportunity to amicably resolve this predicament before us. An ounce of mediation is worth pounds of arbitration and a ton of litigation. These are the words of a very famous mediator, Joseph Greenbaum. We, I'm really glad that all of you are here, applying this principle to our life. Yes, indeed, this is a difficult situation before us. But may I remind you, in the words of Albert Einstein, that it is in the face of difficulties that we find opportunities. And myself and Ashish are here to help you, to assist you in order to find these opportunities for yourself. It is my duty as your mediator to inform you a few aspects of mediation, which some have already been covered by Ashish, but I will emphasize on them again. First is confidentiality. Everything is strictly confidential. Nothing that you say here can be used against you or leave this room. This is to create an environment in which you will feel safe to share your concerns freely. And secondly, nothing that is decided here is binding on you. It is what you choose to implement. And apart from it, I want to again emphasize on the time limits that we have so that everyone has an equal opportunity to express their concerns. So as mediator, we may have to interrupt you at times to ensure that both parties are given the opportunity to speak. We apologize in advance for it. So a few ground rules that have to be laid are, let's try not to interrupt each other. Let's not resort to a tone of aggression because there is a lot at stake on this table and emotions are bound to be involved. But let us not let that get the best of us. So that's all for now. We can begin the session. And I request the requesting parties to start with your statements.
Once again, good afternoon, mediators. And thank you so much for such wonderful communication, clarifying all the doubts and giving us an insight into the rules and procedures. I also thank you, Mr. Taylor, for agreeing to come here today. You taking out the time to reconsider the dynamics of a relationship is really very reassuring. Our presence at the table shows that both of us has each other's best interest at heart. And I hope that we will capitalize on this opportunity to come to a standpoint that benefit both of us. I would like to start by reminiscing about the glorious old days I had while I was attending the fashion university. It was my first time stepping out in the real world to directly confront the challenges thrown towards me by the professional. To be very honest, I was extremely nervous while entering the hyper-competitive fashion university. But as days passed, I gathered quite a lot of experience and started excelling at the university. Like every other entrepreneur, I dreamt of achieving moons and stars. The stars gathered around when I met Jacob. I was successful in fulfilling my aspiration in the form of starting up my own company, that is Fashion Republic. It was not an easy for me to reach this stage as a girl because the Springfield society never helped me. We as a company were excelling and continuously breaking targets because we are committed to our talent, our people, and our skill. Then came this huge opportunity to enter into a joint venture with Newtopia Incorporations. We faced many criticisms because of a colonial past, but we stood adamant because both I and Chekhov had faith in you, Mr. Eric. But with all due respect, Mr. Eric, you brought our fears to reality. You want me out of this company, that is FashionX, because you don't realize my importance here at this company. I completely understand your concerns regarding the recent incident and a bit of mismanagement in the company. But I want you to understand, Mr. Taylor, to realize that you too had some role in recent downfall. This company FashionX is standing because of my hard work and dedication. I've contributed my soul in it. There are many blames thrown at me throughout, like I haven't done this, I haven't done that. I was never considered as an equal partner. But I think that all is behind and let things be in the past. With the mediation, I hope that we understand the tough stand still going on. Me and my counsel has enlisted certain solutions, which I hope will address your concerns, which he will mention in the later part of the session, of course. I hope that today's mediation session ends with both of us having something positive to look up to. That's it from my side. And if my counsel Jim has anything to add, please.
A very good afternoon to all respected people present, the mediators, the client, and counsel or responding party. I am Jim Anderson, the counsel representing the requesting party, and I am here only in an advisory capacity for advisory capacity. First of all, I completely understand that there can be, or rather, of course, there are differences of opinion between us two parties, and that is why my client and I have arrived at the decision for resolving our difference by means of mediation in a highly amicable manner. Since compromise appears to be necessary given the current state of affairs, we are completely prepared as well as intended to resolve our differences by way of mediating with Mr. Eric. Also, I wholeheartedly appreciate responding party for agreeing to our proposal for this mediation. My client was blamed for the mismanagement of the company. He was blamed for the cultural appropriation by the local artisans for borrowing designs from indigenous communities without giving them due credit. My client was never given importance of the partnership goals in a company. He was always considered as an employee. My client thinks Mr. Eric recent overtaking approaches and his undue intervention in the decision making has caused the downfall. My client has come up with certain solution which I would like to propose. For resolving the issues of the artisans not getting their due credit, we have proposed that 20 to 25% of our production should be contracted to the local artisans. This approach will make them feel that they are part of the growth, they are the part of the growth in the company. We have certain clientele which is always on a look for authentic cultural apparel and products. For example, in India, company known as Brignani follows very similar business model. With this, we think we can fulfill the demands and create new lines of products. Now my client is ready to satisfy Mr. Eric by exiting the company and selling her stakes if she gets the appropriate price she is looking for. She has agreed to let her go of her stake and Fashion Republic stake in the Fashion X, along with her IPR rights for miscellaneous products except the apparel at lower limit of 35 million Springfield dollars. Now we are keen to hear your side as well, other side, and come up with solutions which will benefit both of us. That's all from my side. Thank you.
I would like to thank the requesting party for expressing your concerns so well. Kate, I totally understand where you're coming from, especially being a woman. I know how difficult it is to succeed in corporate world at such times. And also, I would like to thank the council for stating out your problems in such a clear way. So the first agenda that you have proposed is mitigating the allegations against Kate and the possible solutions that can be steps that can be taken up as solutions.
Right.
Second one is the treatment of Kate as a partner to the firm. Am I right?
No, we do have a contention that we were never given the due respect we deserve. However,
Yes.
we do not want that anymore because we have I have decided that I would satisfy Mr. Eric's demand because he is so much up to lobbying for trying to move me out of the company. And therefore, I want to just focus on my company, that is Fashion Republic.
Okay. So these are the proposals that are made. Now I would like to hear from the responding party, your views about it.
Once again, a very good afternoon to everyone. I'm Eric Taylor, and I'd like to thank the mediators who have done a commendable job in explaining us the process. This has instilled a deep level of confidence in me that this method of dispute resolution will lead to a streamlined solution for all of us here today. I'd also like to thank the requesting party for inviting us here today and my learned counsel who shall be assisting me throughout the process. Now, Springfield has one of the potentials of being the largest markets in volume in e-commerce, which is why I was always interested in investing in Springfield. And Springfield being a culturally diverse country, I always wanted someone with the knowledge of local aesthetic and local expertise, as this was one of the prerequisites to run a successful business in Springfield. I've known Patrick since my college days, and he recommended that I should start a joint venture with Kate and Jacob, who ran Fashion Republic in India, which was widely successful. So I was so eager to start this venture with Kate and Jacob that I flew to southern Springfield on multiple occasions. We had several rounds of discussions and negotiations. And I gave Kate the position of the CEO and Jacob the position of COO of FashionX, which was incorporated. I even gave the authority of using Bandersnatch, which is basically an algorithm that we have developed at Newtopia. And it basically targets and filters the consumer preferences to give out better search results. But millions of dollars of R&D has gone in developing Bandersnatch, and I gave full authority to use this for the development of business in Springfield. I had entered into this venture with Kate and Jacob because they were aware of the local aesthetic, as I have mentioned before. However, over the years, that was not the case. The products over the time were criticized for being low in quality. They were being compared to products which are readily available in the market, and that's not a brand image that we strive to achieve. In addition to that, there was no due credit given to the indigenous people who actually created these designs and from which these designs were inspired rather. So, so it is really important that we must respect their cultural heritage by giving them due credit and the appreciation which they deserve. So this clearly shows that Kate was losing a hold of the company, and as the company grew in volume and numbers, there were some mismanagements and incompetency issues which were seen. Okay, since I understand that they have been working in a smaller environment, and this might be a completely new thing, but we need competent people to run such a large scale of business. And we have a few proposals in mind, which would now be highlighted by my counsel. Thanks.
Thank you so much, Mr. Eric. I hope I'm audible. Yeah. Very good afternoon again to everyone present here. Hope you're doing safe and well. I'm Rachel Winchester, in-house counsel at Newtopia, and I will be representing Mr. Eric Taylor as his fiduciary and legal counsel for today. I would like to assure you that I have explained the terms of the confidentiality and mediation agreement in detail to my client. Before we move forward, I would like to thank the mediators for setting such a positive tone to our mediating session and the requesting parties for taking an initiative to set this mediating session. I hope we can engage in an honest dialogue and come to an amicable solution which is acceptable to both concerned parties. My role here is only in an advisory capacity to protect the interests of my client. I will only be dealing with any issue or proposal that need any application of laws. I will also be looking into any calculation, creation, or devolution of any rights and liabilities that may arise. My client has full authority to settle at any point during the session if he deems it to be in his best interest. I am also very glad that we have not invoked the arbitration clause and using this mode of dispute resolution for redressing our issues today. I would like to thank the requesting counsel for putting forth the agendas, and not only the agendas, but also a few proposals in the opening statement itself, very precisely and and impeccably. And we will also present a few counter proposals in the conference ahead. Thank you so much. Looking forward to the mediating session today.
Okay, so thank you so much, Rachel, for your opening statement. So do you want to clarify on some of the interests that you want to be clarified on this table? Like there is a separate interest that you want to clarify on? Any separate proposal, especially before we proceed with the session? We
do have a few proposals, but we would first like to, clearly set agendas as to what all we will be discussing today. Like how our, requesting party has stated that they want to clarify a few allegations put on Miss Kate Wilson at that as well. And so we also want to address the same as well, because mismanagement was only looked into by my client after giving a free hand to take all decisions enough for some time. So then only did he interfere into the matters of the company when things weren't going right. So we would like to discuss this also in detail, and we would also like to see how the future of the shares and the company holds, whether whether Ms. Kate and Mr. Eric would like to go ahead and hold shares in Fashion X and Fashion Republic as well. So that agenda should also be put on the table.
Okay, so thank you so much, Rachel. I think that in a nutshell, I must state that the parties are concerned with the productions like the due credit related to the ingenious artisans, right? Their credit should be given, and both parties are concerned with it. Another thing is that they are also planning for a business agenda and business planning model that they will be devising in this section. Another thing is that they are also concerned with the stake of their company, right? The stake of Miss Cat as well as her stakes in this. I'm sorry. Okay, Miss Cat will be able to sell her stake in this company, and that's why they want to negotiate. So, Jenny, can you please put
Sorry,
the
I'm
agendas in the
sorry.
chat
Can you
box?
please?
Yeah. The first thing is
Can you
that
please?
your
Please repeat the last point. I was not able to clearly hear.
okay. The last agenda was that Miss Cat is really providing a proposal that she will be selling her stakes in the company, right? So the parties will also negotiate. That is the future of dynamics of a stakes in the company, right?
Thank you so much.
So then have you put the agendas in the chat box? Okay. So now you may
I
proceed.
hope I have addressed the agenda clearly in the chat box.
Yeah. So I think that is there any prioritization of agendas you guys do want to? Otherwise, we can proceed with the session.
I think I'm happy with the prioritization already mentioned in the chat box, and we would love to go with the first one.
Okay. Yeah.
So
Great.
can I start?
Sure.
Yes, please proceed.
Thank you so much. I've been in this company for so many years, and I think that I have a great contribution in the company. Saying that I was given a free hand, I think that the free hand was given only on paper. The real authority was always handheld by Mr. Taylor. Actually, whatever we live in, both are from different countries and completely different backgrounds and different cultures. What he understands and what his sensibilities towards the business, I think, may never be same what I do have living in this country. And coming to this question that the allegations which I faced, the allegations which were blamed on me regarding cheating the local artisans. I do understand that the local artisans were not clearly given their due credit, but I did took some of, I completely agree with the point that I took some of the designs from them, but actually those designs were not sole right of them. Actually, what we did, we tried to take those designs and then try to integrate with other
I'm sorry
forms.
to interrupt you here, Ms. Kate, but I would like to remind you that we have time constrictions here. So I understand your concerns, but if you want something productive out of this session, I think you should focus more on the solutions that you propose. And if we do not arrive at a solution suitable for us, then we can come back to this part and discuss, where the root problems again. But let's focus on the solutions for now. What do you propose?
Thank you so much, mediator. Yes, right, for guiding me. Actually, what I propose is that we start a present production, 20 to 25% of a production, I think, should be contracted to the local artisans. What we're trying to achieve with that is, like, if we provide them with the work, they will realize and feel that they're growing with the company, they're growing with the market. And we also have a clientele, a client base, which is always on the lookout for a traditional and cultural high quality products. Like there is people who so much want to be near to the nature, towards the culture, as a country already has a colonial past. People are so much want to towards I would say a Hindi word that which correctly specifies that desi products. There's so much worried about those products. So I think that dealing with those local artisans in this way will create a new line of product for a company. And also by giving them the due respect and the due credit they deserve, will also solve their contention of not getting the representation in the society and in for the
Thank
art
you,
of
Ms. Kate. Thank you. Now I want to know if the responding party agrees to this proposal. Please address it.
I'd like to say that contracting 20 to 25% of products to local artists is something that we must put research and development on, because you never know what is the production capabilities of local artists, right? and it might be, it might impact our production line negatively. While it is good that we, incentivize the local artists, but it should be not done in a way that we completely hand over the production to them. This is one thing. The second thing I'd like to say is that when I gave you the role of CEO, that means that you are completely responsible for taking majority of the decisions in the country, and you are running the management for so many years. It is only when that there were disruptions in the market and there were certain discrepancies, I stepped in and I took these decisions.
Sorry to interrupt you, Mr. Eric, but would you like to take a caucus right now?
I guess yes.
I would suggest
we
that
would.
Yes.
We would like yes.
Just give us a moment, participants.
The requesting party will be put into the breakout room.
Okay, so I think that we are in the caucus right now. Parties agreed.
Yeah.
So respected
the
mediators.
reason I asked for a caucus right now, because it was coming to a point where you were pointing fingers, and I just wanted to, bring it out to your notice that maybe that won't be in the best interest for both the parties here. So that's the thing. So now my co-mediator will tell you more about this caucus session.
Okay. Thank you, Jenny. The thing is that this caucus is highly private and confidential, so you can share whatever you want to in an open and frank manner. And we are assuring that whatever you will be saying us, we will not disclose it to the other party without your prior knowledge. So you can proceed with the caucus and we can carry on. Yeah.
I would like to say that I do not want this conflict to escalate any further that it already has. I don't want any fallout with Kate, and I have no hard feelings for her, because this will only damage my reputation with the investors in Springfield. And I want to further diversify my business into Springfield. So it is not a very good option for me. Another thing I'd like to say, which should remain confidential, is that we have another lawsuit or a threat of a lawsuit in the United States, which is with respect to our algorithm and software Bandersnatch. And it will be very difficult for the company as well as the reputation of the company to have two simultaneous major lawsuits ongoing in two countries. And yeah.
And adding to my client, I would also like to say that we weren't agreeing to the artisan contracting or giving out a contract to bring in artisans to design products, is because we are also looking into whether Miss Kate should continue to be a part of FashionX as well. So we have brought in a few proposals to address that. So my client would like to give 15 million Springfield dollars in exchange for her stake in FashionX and the IPR rights to all her designs she made for FashionX. And at the same time, we are all aware that my client also holds a share in Fashion Republic. So the idea was to, to revamp Fashion Republic and to give it a new launch, since Jacob is no longer handling any of the Fashion Republic management. So we would also, fully support Fashion Republic and give it a whole artisans or, diversifying line of, lead to Kate. And, most of the decisions in Fashion Republic can be taken by Kate. We would be in an assisting position to assist her with any of, whether advertising or marketing platform which she may require. So this is one thing we would like to propose. So there is no point, in adding on to the contract of, this whole artisan line of argument, is because we are still questioning whether we need to continue with the partnership with FashionX. But we are willing to negotiate and, include all these lines of other bringing in a diversifying, etc. point of view in Fashion Republic. So this is a few proposals we would like to present.
Means that we can show them this proposal in the joint session, like they are 15 model. You are agreeing to provide them $15 million of Springfield dollars, for their IPR rights as well as their stakes in the company, and you want Ms. State to please give away all her stakes in the company, right? In the fashion.
In fashion
Indeed,
X.
yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
She
Um,
keeps
Yes,
her
in
I want
stake
a
Fashion
in
X.
clarification
fashion.
here. Are you saying that Fashion X will not be taking responsibility for the damages caused to the artisans in here?
No, that
In furtherance to that, I was coming to that point that what we have planned is that cultural diversity. I'm sorry, is the mediator trying to say something? She's on mute.
Jenny, you're on mute,
I-
please.
I'm not saying anything.
Okay, my bad. I'm sorry. So I would like to suggest that we are planning to run a cultural diversity program in which we would actually incentivize the local artisans to produce such divine designs and give it to our company. Okay, we will also advertise their designs and on a global scale because we are a global company. So this would give them a lot of publicity they need, and this would give them a natural launch into the
Thank you.
world, and their
We can
products
discuss the
will.
rest in the joint session. Thank you.
Sure.
I would request the facilitator also to please mention that how much time we have left in the session.
Participant, you have 15 minutes left right now.
If it's okay that for the other party, we too would like to get into a caucus with you, mediators.
Sure.
Yes.
Yeah, please. Yeah, I just want to volunteer.
The responding party will be put into breakout room.
Okay. So before we begin, I would like to inform you that the session is strictly confidential, and unless you be doing so. So may I really know what exactly are you expecting out of this?
Actually, we have considering what Mr. Eric already said, that they had given me the free hand to operate the company. However, I do not want to get into the nitty-gritties and again continuously blame him for this, and I don't think that will be good for both of us images. And therefore, to take a head, go out of the. Therefore, I decided to.
Mr. Eric
out of,
is ready. Okay, sorry. Please proceed.
Okay, please. No,
Okay,
I should know
inform you
what
this because
Mr.
it will help
Eric is proposing. Yes, right.
Yeah. So he is ready to buy out your share from Fashion X for $15 million. And also he is ready to take up an assisting role in Fashion Republic. And you can take the major decisions in that company. So
Okay, I don't think so. That first of all, I
he's
would
proposing that, but at the same time, he also wants you to give him.
I'm sorry, I'm not able to.
Okay, so I must summarize that Mr. Eric is much concerned with your stake in the company. He wanted you should left out your stakes to him, and he's also proposing some sort of money to you and some sort of interest also. So you just proceed with yourself. I will propose it right here.
It's very unclear, but yeah, I think I kind of understood. First thing I would like to say that we cannot go down to more than $30 million. I mean, 35 million we propose, and we're ready to come down to $30 million. And another thing that Mr. Eric is ready to buy out my share. Of course, I do agree with that, and I think that is the right time for me to exit the company, considering there's a coronavirus pandemic going on outside, and the government is keen on bringing foreign direct investment in the country. But I have one issue. But if I do exit the company, there is a cap of 51% on foreign direct investment in the company. Then how this Mr. Eric Taylor gonna deal with it? And another contention which has is that I'm agreeing to exit the company, but I also want Mr. Eric to exit Fashion Republic as well, and I'm ready to buy his share for around $35 million in Fashion Republic, which he currently holds as a 50% stake in that company.
And this Mr. Eric's
Okay,
exit
I
from
think
Fashion
it will-
Republic is just a suggestion as well, or this is just a condition that you want to propose?
I'm sorry, please, can you please repeat once again?
Oh, okay. Am I audible to now?
Yes, please.
Okay. This exit of Mr. Eric from Fashion Republic is a condition that you want to fulfill, or this is a solution that you want to propose?
I think it's
That
a
it is a
condition. Yeah, it is a condition I would like to fulfill, because again, I would like to mention the same thing, because that was one of the main reasons I'm leaving the company. I want to be a master of my own, and therefore I want to focus on the company which I had given my heart and soul to develop from the very beginning. It is a condition.
Okay, Jani, do you want to add something here? Okay, I think that Jani is not able to hearing us. So anything else that you want to say, Mr. Eric, here, like anything that you want to point out in this focus?
More thing I would like to say that in case we would be requiring government submission from Mr. Eric to invest in the company because of the cap on the foreign direct investment cap. And I would like to say that I do have some certain connections and in the government, and it would be helpful. It would be easy if I could help in that, if Mr. Eric is willing to take up the shares. So I think that will be more beneficial that I exit that company and Mr. Eric exits mine, and we both go our ways separately,
Okay.
taking our own reins in our home.
Okay, so I think that we have done with this focus, so we can proceed with the
Yes. Am I audible?
Yeah, Jay, you're audible now.
Okay, thank you. I had lost my network in between.
All parties are
Volunteer,
present.
can you please confirm? Yeah, okay, thank you so much. So the responding party, I want to talk to you, like there is a condition that was stabilized by the requesting party that they will exit the stakes of their stakes in the company only on a condition that you will exit your stakes in the Fashion Republic. Are you okay with this offer, with this condition mainly?
I think I had a discussion with my client regarding this, and I would tell you how, as being a part of Fashion Republic, is more beneficial to the requesting party than it is a disadvantage. As Mr. Jacob, as we all know, is not in a managing position or is related to Fashion Republic anymore. We would like to take his place, give any resources or marketing and advice, advertising platform for Miss Kate to develop her business, and also would like to do a joint press conference or anything that we can say that in good faith we are trying to go separate ways, but we already have the same agenda that we want to build a good base indigenous and support Miss Kate as well in anything that she needs. So I think it's more beneficial for us to be a part of Fashion Republic as well, as Miss Kate is now has like I already said, she right now, as as the artisans have lost faith in her, we will help her relaunch herself in a a good way. And later on, if in future we need to see that okay, we can relook this line of a proposal, but I think it's more beneficial for us to stay together in Fashion Republic. But Miss Kate could exit her shares in Fashion X.
Okay, so Ms. Kate, do you want to agree to them? Okay, yeah, please.
Yes, thank you so much, Council and Mr. Eric. I completely understand that you have a best interest at heart, and we would love to be. I think that that you remaining in a company, I think that can be discussed in the next session. But one thing, if we decide to that you remain in a company, will you be willing to help us with the software which you had for marketing of the products, if we decide?
My client is in a better position to address that.
We can talk about these softwares and further intricacies of Fashion Republic in a later mediation session. I think we can focus on what's the fate of Fashion X is going to be.
Okay, so I think that we should first talk on the stakes of the Miss Kate in the Fashion X. So Miss Kate has stabilized that she will sell her stakes at the minimum threshold of 30 million Springfield dollars. Do you want to negotiate on this 30 million, Miss Kate, or this is just the stake amount that you want to stabilize in this deal?
I think the current stake of Miss Kate is around $10 million in Fashion X, and I'm willing to provide further $5 million to her for all the designs which she has created. So our initial offer would go at around $15 million.
Okay,
And
so I want to
if,
move from.
Mediator,
if Miss Kate is asking, I'm sorry.
Please continue.
If Miss Kate
Please continue.
If Miss Kate is asking for more, I'd like a justification as to why a premium amount is being cited. Thanks.
That's what I was asking actually. We did the face value of our shares, which I hold, that is around 1 lakh shares with face value of 100 in Fashion X, and the company has been standing for years, and I think, of course, the prices of the shares and the company's valuation has increased, and I think that 30 million is a fair value to ask for, and if we would like to know your views further.
If I may interject.
And my exiting the company is conditional of you exiting my company, that is Fashion Republic.
Oh, just a clarification I want to know from the state, like this 30 million is a negotiable amount or not?
No, because I've already come down. No, we had initially proposed $35 million, and it would be I think in a business sense, it would be a loss for me. Because I've worked really hard for the company, and in the working in these years, I hope that my valuation and my work is increasing day by day. But when we come to the session, as Mr. Eric Taylor is saying that you will get 15 million, I think that's half the value what I receive.
If I may propose a counter proposal, and in very precise, keeping in mind the time constraints. So one, my client would like to, review the proposal and would like to know that does this 30 million also include us having the intellectual property rights to all the designs? So my client is willing to give 30 million, but in exchange of all the, designs, IPR rights for all the designs that Ms. Kate has made for our company, she will be leaving those behind with us. And how we are willing to negotiate and agree to Ms. Kate's non-negotiable 30 million. We also have a non-negotiable proposal, that is we will still be a part of Fashion Republic, and that is non-negotiable from our end. So we have met our requesting party halfway by giving them 30 million and asking for the IPR rights of the designs, and we are willing to still be a part of Fashion Republic, and that still we can discuss the fate of Fashion Republic in any other mediating session.
Regarding the
okay, so
regarding the IPR rights, except the apparel, all the IPR rights we are considering to agree that, but except the apparel part.
We mainly need the apparel part. So we are requesting all IPR rights for all designs made when Ms. Kate was working with Fashion X, all those, and 30 million in exchange for her to give up her shares.
Yes, I have
mentioned.
So, yes, you may
and
go.
If I may give a counter proposal, if Mr. Eric and the council agree, although
Ms.
we can go further.
I think that we are lacking time. We have a paucity of time, so I think that we should conclude the session. We can discuss it in the next session. So in a summarizing manner, I just suggest that Mr. Eric has provided for negotiation of the 30 billion amount that you are demanding from them, and but they want to negotiate on your IPR rights, that is intellectual property rights, and both the parties will be discussing about Apple in the next session. It will be the good and it will be beneficial to both the parties. The rights of related to Apple products, and for concluding session, before we concluded it, I would like to ask our honorable judges, like, if they are negotiating, is there any timing leverage that we are provided here in this session? We can split the time, or we can conclude the session. Honorable ma'am and sir, do we have been provided with the opportunity of getting a stretch time session, or do we have to conclude the session as of now?
I think it has to be continued. What do you say, Ms. Lead?
Yes, you can continue and answer that question.
You could continue.
Yeah, okay. So please, Miss Kate, please.
Actually, what I was proposing, like instead of giving my entire IPR rights, what about we enter into a royalty kind of arrangement, if that's agreeable to the council of Mr. Eric?
Again, like how I'm going to precisely put forward, we are meeting you halfway by giving you the requested 30 million for exchange of the IPR rights. And we are also helping you restart a whole diversity drive and help you relaunch your company in Fashion Republic. So you can build a new line of designs and take your company forward there. But we would like to retain the whole unique selling point that we saw in Kate and Jacob, especially Kate was her designing capabilities of her apparel, etc. So that is a unique selling point which we would like to retain in Fashion X. So that is not negotiable.
Miss Rachel, I would like to make one point very clear, that we haven't yet agreed you being staying in Fashion Republic, and because that was a condition upon which we will be exiting the company Fashion X. If you do exit, because I think mediators haven't made that point clear. So
they have, Miss Kate, okay. They have very well made it clear, but like how mediating session is meeting, both of us meeting midway. We have come midway from 15 million to we are going up to 30 million and giving you in exchange of your 10 million stake in our company. So we are meeting you halfway and we expect you to return the courtesy and, please consider that, we be like how I also mentioned that we being a part of Fashion Republic is more profitable and a good advantage for you, as we will be helping you with a number of resources. So till your company launches and is stable, we would still like to be a part of Fashion Republic.
Okay, for what duration are you considering to be a part of Fashion Republic? Because you understand where I'm coming from. Actually,
indeed.
In this company, I have been working a lot, but in my company, I do not want any more whims and fancies of the big investors now. And that is what my real contention is. And also, I'm facing a lot of issues and criticism for selling out my company and selling out my hard-earned skills and Fashion Republic to foreigners. And therefore, I just want to correct my mistake to have a good image in the society. I have no personal issues with Mr. Eric, but you understand that I'm living in a society, and being a businessman, I do have to consider the social implications as well.
Indeed, Ms. Kate, as you have mentioned it multiple times, I do understand. And all we are saying is that for you to reestablish yourself, win back the artisans' trust, you do need us. As you also know, Mr. Jacob was, your confidant and was with you for so long. As you have lost a major part of, Fashion Republic once Mr. Jacob jumped ship. So you do need us right now. And I hope, as from a woman to woman, I do understand how difficult it is to establish your business. So we as Goodwill are helping you to establish your business. But we can talk about the duration as when we will want to be associated with Fashion X, with Fashion Republic. But you will have the major decision, you can take all the major decisions of the company as you are well versed, or, all the diversities, etc. involved in that. But but my client, all that he wants is for you to exit the company, and he wants full rights of Fashion X.
I think we're going round and about. Mediator, we can arrange another session for this.
I'm sorry for cutting you down. I just want to conclude this section in a summarizing manner. I want to say that the parties will be negotiating on the intellectual rights thing, the IPR rights of Ms. Kate in this company of Fashion X, and also the Mr. Eric's company leaving out the stakes in the Fashion Republic, right? So we will discuss it about in the next session. At the concluding stage, I want to express my appreciation to both the parties for coming here at this mediation session and remaining very amicable throughout the session. I also want to thank you for providing us the possibilities of midway in the next session. I think that the parties will come up with more satisfaction in the next session.
I want to thank both the parties for participating in this session. And I would also like to tell you all that maybe in the next session, we can approach with a more open mind towards the solutions proposed by either parties. So good luck on that.
I would like to thank the mediators once again. And I understand that mediation is not so easy, and listening to so many things and maintaining confidentiality, I think it's a very difficult task. And I thank Mr. Taylor and his counsel for being so engaging and always thinking about their company as well as our company throughout the session. Thank you so much for being so engaging and being so mindful of the needs of us as well as the society and yours. Thank you so much.
Thank you, mediators, for conducting the session so swiftly. Thanks.
I would also like to thank the mediators for being so impartial and listening to our deliberations. And Ms. Kate, thank you so much for inviting us for this mediation session. I think that we are better off from where we were before the session, right? Yes, and so I think that in the next mediation sessions, we can further elaborate and, improve our bilateral relationship. In the end, obviously, I'd like to thank my counsel for assisting me throughout the session. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone. Like my client has already precisely put it, that thank you so much, mediators, for so succinctly summarizing the spirit of mediation session today. And as we could not, come to a proper conclusion, but we would still look forward to, engage in more concluding, to have a very good solution to where both our needs are met. And looking forward to that. It was an honor being part of this mediation session today.
Thank you so much, participants. Yeah, no, I'm so sorry. Thank you so much, participants.
Go ahead.
Yes, ma'am. You may now give the feedback to the participants if you would like, and so you as well.
Sure.
Well, thank you, everyone. That was a good session, right, Rajiv?
Yes. After you, ma'am.
Everybody.
We can't hear you. Your voice is weak.
So thank you very much. It was a good session. You can't hear me at all?
Yes, now we can hear you.
It is audible now, ma'am.
Okay. All right. Thank you. I said thank you very much. It was a good session to judge. Thank you for it. I want to speak first to the client lawyer sets, and then I want to talk to the mediators. Be careful when you're a client lawyer that you don't reveal your confidential facts in the beginning. One team saved the confidential facts for the first private session. The other team mentioned a bit of confidential facts almost right away. So be careful with that, because you have a duty to the tournament role play. And I didn't mark down for it so much, but I just wanted to make it aware of you, because you have the chance to go on to the finals. So make sure you have in order what you're supposed to be sharing right away and not be sharing right away. Team 180, you want to try to use in mediation, because it's so congenial. From Team 180, I heard he was blamed 2 times. This was the downfall. I heard these negative words. All our words matter in mediation, and they all send out a message. So counsel and client, if you want to take that strategy, enter into that blame game, make sure it's something that you know that you want to do. Because when I heard those words up front, I was like, oh, what's going on here? So be careful about using those words. Make sure that they're poised the way that you want them to be poised. I heard Team 90, nice, clear, concise fact statement and good pushing for what was important to your client counsel. Meeting you halfway. I'm expecting you because we've done this. So I saw the negotiation tactics that were present, alive and well. And both of you fought for your clients, especially as you got warmed up into the mediation. So very good job. Mediators, good job. And also a little choppy because of certain things. It's in the beginning, when you have your mediator's opening statement, there is the principles to mediation, and Mediator 195, you covered them very nicely. You mentioned the neutral, the impartial, the confidentiality, but as we brush up a little bit for the finals, let's make sure we know who the mediation is confidential for. So the mediators are held to confidentiality, 100%, especially in the United States. Even a judge can't make us testify, all right? And then the agreement, though, isn't confidential, is it? Because people are going to see that. So you don't want to promise this blanket confidentiality in mediation when you know the agreement's going to be seen by somebody, it's going to go to the court, it's going to get filed. And then you have the confidentiality of the private session, which is an extra layer of confidentiality where You want to try to learn to say what you don't want me to share, I will write it down. Because if you ask what you can share, that's a whole lot of stuff. But if you ask them, what do you not want me to share? You can write that down. And then I will repeat back to you at the end of this session. So you've got your private session confidentiality, you've got your confidentiality as a mediator. And then sometimes people can agree that everything we talk about in the mediation is confidential, but that gets written into the agreement. So mediators, I want you to understand your confidentiality a little bit better as you move forward. Also, the summarizing. Sometimes the summarizing was too fast. As a mediator, you have to let your words sink in. And there wasn't enough summarizing for my taste. And that's just me, good thing you only, there's two of us judges here. So for my taste, when a party talks, the mediator summarizes. Mediation, your job, mediators, two things, two basic lives to mediation: clarity and helping parties reach agreement. A lot more clarity could have happened in this mediation today. And that is your main job. So make sure that you get in there, because if you don't clarify right away after your parties talk, they're going to learn to talk without you stepping in to clarify. So if you want to set that pattern of clarification, which helps things not be messed up. At one point in time, one of the mediators started to clarify and it wasn't wrong. It wasn't accurate. So the party stepped in to check. And okay, this is not a pluperfect process. When that happens to you as a mediator, I saw that it caught you off a little bit off guard, excuse me. You say, thank you very much for that clarification. Thank you for that correction. Because not only are you showing your humanity at the mediation table, which is very important to show, you're also modeling for the parties how they treat each other when somebody misstates or misunderstands. So don't feel like because you didn't get it perfect. This is not about being perfect. This is about following process, and it's about being a human being as well. The other part to the opening statement, the mediator's opening that I didn't hear, was the process. You have these principles, and then you have the process of what people are going to sit through when they're at the table. Right now, part of the process is the mediator's opening statement, and that's what I'm doing right now. And then we're going to move to your opening statements, parties' opening statements. Then we're going to move to building an agenda, developing an agenda, and then picking our top agenda topics. So as a mediator's opening statement, you want to describe the process as well. And then we're going to go ahead and have dialogue, and hopefully at the end of this mediation will result in a written agreement that everyone agrees with. So you want to develop that co-mediation jive, I'll call it, where somebody does the process, somebody does the principles, and you don't repeat after each other. You can do your own mediator statement, and I like the way 150 that you said, yes, my co-mediator has covered some of this. And then what I call it is fill. You can fill in also what he might have left out, what she might leave out, as you move forward. So and you want to be polite about it. So let me, in addition, add this. You want to have these nice transitional statements, because it's a dance when you're co-mediating. You don't want to be choppy. You don't want to cut each other off. And then you also want to say to your co-mediator, and I heard it one time, I think TC 195, you said, is there anything that you would like to add? And Jenny was gone, so we couldn't hear if there was anything she'd like to add. So I would just verbalize. You don't want to use words like pointing the finger in the private caucus. Mediators need neutral language as well in mediation. You don't want to say, as a woman, I totally understand what you're talking about, because now momentarily you've lost your neutrality when you said that. So you don't want to make those kind of statements. You want to be just more neutral in your language. And the ground rules, remember, if you're going to set ground rules as a mediator, I've done over 800 cases. I have never set one ground rule, never. If you're going to set a ground rule and then someone breaks it, what are you going to do? And then what do you become? When someone breaks the ground rule, you become the referee or the judge, because now you have to correct them for breaking the ground rule. And if you don't correct them, it's a problem. If you do correct them, what's happened to your neutrality? Right then and there, you have lost some neutrality. So be careful with those ground rules, especially when you say, I'm going to interrupt you as a mediator, and then you tell them they can't interrupt each other. So you just want to get everything kind of together, nice and smooth. And those would be the additions I would have for you all to focus on as you move forward into the finals. So thank you very much for listening to me.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for your excellent feedback. I'm sure all participants have really appreciated it and have taken lessons that they'll take ahead into the finals and for other competitions as well. So would you have any feedback for the participants?
Yes, certainly. In fact, Ms. Kathleen has a very in great detail covered all the points, and she also covered some of the points which I wanted to say, especially on the aspect of losing the neutrality. This you are a woman, I'm a woman, this word was used twice. Once it was used by the mediator and the other time it was used by the council. Used by the council is absolutely correct, because there is a persons from two different party, and if they are trying to gel and if they are trying to come to a meeting point, that is perfectly normal. But use of this term by the mediator was not, as Ms. Kathleen says, that you just shifted away from your neutrality, because other side will have this issue. Second thing, what Ms. Kate was saying, while you are starting, while you are making your opening submission, your offer need not come right at the outset. Your offer has to wait, because you started by end of your opening session, you had made your offer, you had everything in front of them. You were actually left with no more thing to negotiate thereafter. You had practically made all your offers right at the outset. And if we see what Mr. T90 had done, that he withhold his things. He first explained. He also said that what extent he want to go, what is the things that he has to say, and in the caucus he disclosed his offer, which was conveyed to you by the mediator. And if, like for example, a number of times our offer are such that even the mediator would say that you should modify your offer. So that option or that freedom the party need to have, with that kind of liberty where the other side is not there to hear that or learn that or see that he has also come down from a certain offers. So these are a few things. Another thing which Ms. Kate was, I don't know your name, but you underutilize your counsel. You highly underutilize your counsel, because he hardly got anything to say, and whatever he had to say, he had to actually grab the opportunity to say that. You are a party, you are the one who is affected. Put your mood in motion, and even if the lawyer is there merely to assist you or to guide you, let them take the course, is what I feel. So otherwise, it was really a very wonderful session, very knowledgeable, and you people actually done much beyond your ages and experience, is what I will say.
Thank you, sir.
And one more thing, whatever marks we give, it actually will not do justice to you. You are much better than that.
Thank you so much, sir.
Do you have any questions for us? Anybody? Okay.
Okay. Really nice. All the very best to all of you.
Thank you, respected judges. May I just check the score sheet?
Yeah, you can.
I need to finish my score sheet, my mediator score sheet. Yeah.
Respected judges, since this is a knockout round, you may declare the results herein about what team is going to the finals.
Okay, so we need to calculate the marks as well, na?
I just calculated with your prior permission.
Please do.
All right, let me
that good in the mathematics.
Let me go there for a minute. Okay, hang on one second. Are you able to total them for me?
Yes, ma'am, I will just complete it.
Okay. Thank you.
Ma'am, for the mediating pair, I believe there's a clear winner.
Participants, you may turn on your videos.
Do we have a winner for the mediating pair? The mediators?
Ma'am, I'll just complete the calculation for the mediators. Mediating pair, we have a clear winner.
Yeah. Yes. So how, you want us to share who we picked as the winner for the client counsel team?
Yes, ma'am, you may.
We selected Team 90 as the winning client.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you so much,
team.
sir.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you.
Everyone was good, but we selected Team 90.
Congratulations, guys.
Congratulations.
So, thank you. And I'd just like
Congratulations,
to,
Team 90.
yes, I'd just like to add that Miss Kate, T180, you were just amazing with your emotions and everything. I mean, I struggled to get them on a mediation session. So yeah, that was amazing.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, Team 90, proceed forward with your good teamwork and your conciseness and counsel taking care of client and client expressing his emotionality. And then counsel, you fought for him at the end and throughout. So very, very well done. So what do we do about the mediator?
Ma'am, I have
selection?
completed the calculation. You can check page 2.
Oh, thank you so much. Let me look at my page. I've never introduced the winners before. I'm a little bit nervous.
It's quite a tiebreaker kind of. It's very close.
Yeah, it's very close. I'm going to let you introduce our winner for the mediator.
Sure, I'll do that. This is for the mediator. For the mediator, the team 195. Okay.
Thank you so much, sir.
Yes. 150, you have been very good.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah.
195, when you move forward in the finals, well, obviously, make sure you speak slower. You're very intelligent. Make sure you speak slower. You started out very strong, and then you forgot to do the summarizing. That's absolutely so necessary as a mediator.
In fact, you are something who is reflecting the arrows thrown by each other party in the right direction so that they have their most desired result.
And 195 as well, you're saying another thing is, it's not another thing, it's the next agenda item is, you don't want to be slang term when you're a mediator, it's a professional position. And you went, yeah. So make sure those words don't enter into your next round. All right. All right. Good luck moving forward. It's so nice to meet everyone. And thank you, my fellow co-judge. Thank you so much. It was lovely meeting you as well.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, everyone. Have a great
really
evening.
Nice,
Thank you, everyone.
meeting you and working with you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much, participants. You may now leave the meeting room. And thank you so much to our judges, Ms. Kathleen and Mr. Rajiv, sir. Thank you so much. Like, this was one of our best rounds, and this experience, it will stay with us. Like, observing this round and like learning from you about ADR mechanisms and how to go about it. And so thank you so much for attending this and taking out time for our round. This is the first time that we have ventured into the field of alternate dispute resolution. So we had a goal in mind that we have to make it worth it for the students as well as for our organization going forward, since people say that ADR is the future. So we hope that you like the organization of this competition. Do you have any feedback for us?
The word ADR is the future is not merely a cliche. It is actually a reality. And let me tell you, it is much more effective than even arbitration.